G'day guys, I'm just doing my possum line, so I thought I'd show you some native edible plants and plants that you can utilise if you're ever lost in the bush, how to survive a night. There's no need to be hungry in the New Zealand bush or thirsty, so I'll show you a few of the ins and outs of the plants and different species. The first one here is the Kawakawa. Sure you've all seen it before. It looks, some people call it the doily plant. These holes are actually caused by an elusive caterpillar. No one seems to be able to find it. It's never anywhere when you're looking for it. Now really the only part of this plant that you really eat is the fruit. It's not quite fruiting at the moment. You can see these are the little fruit heads. They will swell up to sort of 3 times, 4 times that size, and they'll be quite a bright orange. You just suck the fruit off, spit out the little seeds because they're quite peppery. The Māori have been using this plant for a long time as a headache cure. They make a poultice up and wrap it around their head. It's a natural insecticide when you burn the branches. So if you are ever lost in the bush and you're getting plagued by mozzies, burn a bit of that, they'll disappear. Also, they would burn the branches and lay them in amongst their kumara patches. The smoke that these give off is a natural insecticide, so it's another practice that's been lost over the years. Yeah, good all round plant, that one. You can chew the leaf. It's got a bit of a sort of numbing sensation. That's because it's related to the kava. So we'll go and find a few more and I'll show you the ins and outs of them. Okay, so this tree we have here is a titoki. You can eat the fruit off this tree. I'll show you the trunk so you can identify it. You see here, it's got quite distinctive ripples on the trunk. Looks a bit like an elephant leg. They grow pretty massive, these trees. I'll show you the leaves. This is the leaf of the tree here. And the fruiting part is just around the corner. So this is the fruiting part. Now these will split open and a red fruit bursts forth, and they're very nice eating. These have just got a little black seed in them. They weren't really a staple diet of the early Māori, but nonetheless they were a feed, and you can eat them if you need to. So this is a good one. This is bush lawyer. Everyone knows bush lawyer. It's stuff you're walking through the bush, you get caught up on it, sticks to you, rips your arms. Well, the actual fruit on it is quite edible. This plant is related to the blackberry for obvious reasons. It's spiky. In fact, I'll show you. If you rub this on your arm, simulate me walking through the bush. So you can see there, it'll just cut into you. So that's how to identify bush lawyer. Now the tiny little white berries are not quite ready yet. You can just see a little bunch beginning here, the flowers. So they'll flower then berry, and they're quite edible and quite delicious. So here we have poroporo. The only part of this plant that you eat is the fruit, and it has to be extremely ripe, almost overripe. If you eat it when it's not quite ripe, green or just sort of yellowish, you'll poison yourself. Never eat the leaves. The flowers can be eaten. These are the flowers here. Nothing wrong with them. They can go in a salad. So another food source. If you're stuck in the bush and you really have to find a feed, look for some water. You'll always find crawlies, freshwater crawlies in the creeks. Get in there, get in amongst it, find some rocks, turn them over, look underneath the banks. You might even luck across an eel. all of these things can be eaten raw. So we'll have a little look and see if we can find some. But you just got to really get down and have a good look. Lift up a couple of rocks. Get in underneath the banks. So there we go. There's just a little one there. So to kill it, you just squeeze it between the eyes. Boom, it's dead. You twist and rip its tail. Throw the front half away. And you just squeeze the tail like that. Get that little bit of meat out. And that's it, delicious. A dozen of those, you'll be full as a bull. So if you're at the creek looking for crawlies, have a look around. You might come across some watercress. This is watercress here. It grows in sort of moving waterways and things like that. You don't often find it in the thick bush, but it can be on the outskirts of the bush sometimes. Watercress is a mean feed, it's actually a superfood. So all the goodies you need are in here. It's just nice for a feed. So here we have the cabbage tree, or the Tecoca, or Cordyline australis, all the same thing. Beautiful big old tree, this one. These can be eaten in an emergency only. Obviously not these big ones. Find a smaller one, you dig it up, and you either steam or roast the root, or you cut through the centre of it and you eat the heart of it, which is like a sort of a white salady stem. The only thing is it kills the tree, so as I said, emergency only, but it's another good food source. So there guys, there's a few natives that you can eat if you need to. Just remember the golden rule, if in doubt, leave it out. If you're not sure what it is, don't eat it. It'll keep you going for a couple of days anyway until you find your way out. There's always plenty of food and water in the bush. So yeah, go feral, go bush and get into it.